I'm Hondo Caffee. I am a veterinarian and an equine surgeon. So I am from South Texas. My parents are kind of southwest of San Antonio in that area. And I originally started out at Texas A&M. I went to vet school and undergrad there actually. And then after vet school, I spent a year at Oak Ridge Equine Hospital doing an internship with them in Edmond, Oklahoma. And then from Edmond, I actually moved to Long Island, and I spent a year on Long Island doing a second internship with Cornell Ruffy, an equine specialist there, doing mostly racehorse work and lots of airways. But we did see, we were the only hospital on the island, so we did see all the like hunter jumpers and stuff that are out on the island farther, like out in the Hamptons and stuff like that. So it was a decent mix, and got to see some different cases. And then after Ruffian, I matched for surgery residency at Washington State, and so we moved out to Pullman and spent 3 years in Washington State doing a surgery residency there, and then moved back to Texas for a little while and worked in the Decatur area at a practice there and was the first surgeon on staff at that practice. And then after Decatur, I spent 3 years in Colorado, did the same thing, moved to a practice that hadn't had a surgeon before and built a surgery practice there, and had some really good clients and enjoyed Colorado a lot, and then we're looking forward to coming back home. I really enjoy hunting and fishing, and I got really into fly fishing. I was lucky to live in Colorado the last 3 years and had a lot of really nice water to go to that was pretty close and not have to travel very far. I've grown up hunting and fishing though my entire life, and then we do have our own horses, so when we have time, we like to ride. I like to rope a little bit, and then grew up on a cattle ranch in South Texas, and so I like to go out and still enjoy working cows and that kind of thing. And then I have 3 children that are all ages 3 and under at the moment, so most of my free time goes to chasing kiddos around, and our house is just chaos all the time. But it's a good chaos, and that's where most of my free time goes now. Lameness in sports medicine has been most of my caseload the last 3 years, and that's really what we focused on. The practice that I was at previously was really dedicated to performance medicine. We did everything, but that was definitely our the biggest part of our caseload there. And so, lamenesses, upper airways are a lot of fun to diagnose. I really like doing those. And then poor performance issues, I really enjoy doing those. Some of the more complicated ones that have been seen before, that kind of thing, those are fun to dig into a little bit more and try and root out the cause. Well, I really like the emergencies. I like colic surgeries a lot. That's probably my favorite type of surgery to do. It's a lot of fun to take a horse that is not doing so well and fix those problems and be able to give somebody their horse back at the end of the day. That's a lot of fun. I really enjoy that. But I don't necessarily have one area. I think that I like to be a jack of all trades and be able to do a little bit of everything. So, but I think colics and emergencies are probably my favorite kind of thing to work at. I think that emergency cases are a good way to look at that, and that you have to realize that's a really stressful situation for everybody involved, and even things that don't seem all that severe to me or to the staff oftentimes are really stressful and really emotional to deal with from an owner's standpoint. It's really nice. I've got one of my own horses in the hospital now, and so I get to see both sides of that a little bit more. But I really just try to make sure that everybody's comfortable with what's going on, and try to provide the most information I can that's easy to digest to give you an idea of what's going on, and try and keep everybody involved. And I feel like when we know what's happening and know why we're doing things, that helps mitigate some of that worry and some of that concern that you have when you leave your horse with us. The one that comes to mind first is I had a little grade horse that came in that I want to say he was about 6 months old when I saw him, and had some ocular drainage from one eye basically since birth that had never really resolved, and they couldn't really find a cause for. We went through and evaluated, and eventually got to the conclusion that he was born without a tear duct and did not have a nasolacrimal duct on that side. So we actually went in and did a surgery called canaliculosynotomy, where we made a hole into his sinuses and basically made a tear duct for him. He hung out at the hospital for a long time and really got to be a crowd favorite. I really liked him a lot, and he was just a really goofy horse in the stall when we had to do his bandages and stuff like that. So he stuck with me a lot. I really liked that case. The other one I had a colic on a young performance horse filly that was a little quarter horse filly that same sort of deal. She just stuck around for a long time. We ended up having to do 2 colic surgeries on her. Unfortunately, she developed some complications after the first one, but ended up doing really well. And I've kept up with her over the years, and she's transferred hands a couple of times. So I've been lucky enough that the owners have been nice enough to send me pictures and updates and things like that on her. So little yellow mare Charlie sticks out quite a bit too. We remember her. Surgery is definitely where I'm the most comfortable and where most of my advanced training has been in. I'm just happy to be another set of hands. From everything I've heard, we're really, really busy here and really swamped, and so I'm just happy to get in and feel very lucky to join such a good group of doctors and be able to step in and give some aid. So I think that's the biggest thing is I'm just here to help, and I really like that role. So I really enjoy coming to work and getting that fun. So I like a team that gets to joke around, and I can tell you in the first 2 or 3 days of being here, I've already found that. So I think we're gonna have a good time. That's what I look for when I go somewhere. Um, is everybody in a good mood, or people generally is it a good vibe when you're in the hospital? And that definitely is the case here. And it's been nice to have some good interactions, get to joke around with people already, and makes me feel like I've been here longer than I have.